From Channel 6, this is Action News Issues and Answers.
Good morning. Our guests on Issues and Answers this week are two men who John Rawlins has perhaps accurately labeled the odd couple. They moved into a housing project in Philadelphia some days ago, and we'll show you some tape of that right now, and then we'll meet them live in our studio. On the tape, you see here Mike Smerconish and Elton Jolly moving into an apartment in the Southwark Housing Project in Queen Village, Philadelphia. Mr. Smerconish is the Regional Director of HUD, the Federal Housing and Urban Development Agency. Mr. Jolly is a special master who's taken over the operation of the Philadelphia Housing Authority to try to get things back in order. They decided to find out what it's like actually living in a housing project, and so they did it. And now they're joining us in our studio to talk about that rather interesting experience. Our guests are Michael Smerconish, the Regional Director of the Housing and Urban Development Agency of the federal government, and to his left is Elton.
What did you learn there that you didn't know already, based on reports you've been able to read and tours you've done through public housing before?
I'm glad you asked the question, Vernon, because I think the record needs to be cleared up. One could easily read the newspaper accounts and watch the television accounts of our visit to Southwark and come away with the impression that Elton and I were sitting around one day having a few beers and decided, let's go to Southwark, it'll be great for media attention. And quite the contrary, that's not how it happened. We're presently advertising in the Philadelphia Inquirer and nationwide for the top jobs at the Philadelphia Housing Authority. They're open to merit-based competition for the first time in the 30-year history of the Housing Authority. And at the same time that we are hiring all new management, we decided to change the personnel requirements. We decided that senior staff would be subject to periodic drug testing. We decided that senior staff would be subject to financial disclosures intended to point out potential conflicts of interest. And Mr. Jolly made the decision that it would be a healthy step to also require selected senior staff to reside in public housing for a certain time period each year. Now, having made that decision to ask that of our employees, we said at the time that we should not ask. We are trying to respond to the concerns that are raised by our residents. One of the concerns that has been raised is that our workforce in some capacities may have some problems in this regard. I'm subject to periodic drug testing as a HUD employee. I think it's a healthy step. I see no reason why